some other stuff. This whole side of the roof should be good technically. So what we're gonna do, and this is all sanded down with 180, so I'm gonna grab some guide coat, hit guide coat on each of these fillered areas, let it dry, sand it with 220 to get the 180 scratch out, and then from there, guide coat it again, and then slap that 320 on the DA with the interface pad and scuff this whole side with 320. And then we should be ready for primer. So let's go ahead and get that knocked out. So this guide coat is just gonna be to make sure we get all of the 180 sand scratches out. Peel off this 180, and then we're going to slap on a 220 grit. And now we're going to sand with 220 until all of that black paint is out of those 180 grit sand scratches. I'm going to grab the guide coat again and spray down this 220. If you're good and you've been doing this for a while, you probably wouldn't use guide coat, I would assume right here. You just know how much to sand with 320 to refine it just a little bit more for some primer. But I'm not good, so. This is like a real-time example of me learning what the hell to do. Because I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm a noob. So this is 320 interface pad, just a soft foam pad so it can kind of contour to the roof. And being that this whole roof is scuffed with 220, we're gonna finish the whole thing up with 320 on this DA with the interface pad. So this guy right here feels nice and flat. This is like the main one I've been testing all this on. Feels flat, it looks flat. I'm gonna go ahead and just try one more thing. This is good old Bob's trick, Bobby's dad's trick. Just gonna look at it with some wax and grease remover. Spray this here. Get it nice and wet. And it adds a ton of gloss to it, and you can kind of look down it and make sure you don't have a super low spot. If there's still a little bit of a low spot, that'll be filled with some filler primer, so I think we should be good there. But that looks completely flat. That looks literally perfect to me. So I'm gonna call that dent right there a day. Now we have about 1,000 more to finish. So that is the method I'm gonna be using on the whole entire car. Basically, look at the car, find the low spots. I'm gonna start grinding it down to bare metal, applying the filler, sand that with 180, guide coat, 220 guide coat, 320 guide coat, so on and so forth. I don't know if that's the best method in the world. That is what I'm gonna try for now, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But like I said, we only had maybe like an hour to work in the shop today, and our plane leaves to FL2K. We're going to Florida, and we have a fairly early flight, so I'm gonna head home. I gotta get cleaned up, get the crew together, and we're gonna dip out.
Let me go potty really quick.
I've never been to Florida. I hope it's nice. I hope it's warm. We're gonna go see some really, really fast cars. We gotta go pick up Jared. Bobby's late. Let's make her mad. And Bobby lost her phone. What a day. What a day. It's right where you put it, in the truck. What's going on, brother?
Baby, I'm not feeling good, and I'm like trying to get my shit together, but you keep on honking at me.
We ended up missing our flight by just a few minutes. It was such a shit show of a morning. So, we might fly out tomorrow, we might not. Either way, I'm back at the shop. And I'm gonna get some more body work done on this thing. We have a couple hours now. That literally took all morning. And now it's 3 p.m. so we have a few hours of daylight left. Other than the roof, there's honestly not a ton of places that need body work. It's mainly the roof, and then this right up in here is super wavy, which is gonna be tough for me because it's right on a curve. So of course we have to keep that same contour of the door. So we gotta figure out how to do that. But for now, let's just get this roof 100% finished up, get it completely knocked out, and then we can go around the whole entire car, make sure we don't have any other dings or dents to fill. couple hours later, we've made some really good progress. I just hit it with wax and grease remover. So any spot that is dry right now, I wiped off. So that needs a little bit of filler, that guy. And then we also have this like really kind of shallow but big dent. Probably gonna be hard to see, but it's right up in this back corner right here. You can definitely feel it and see it. It's pretty large. So we're gonna have to add a little bit of filler right up in this area here. But we're almost done with the roof, which is exciting. While we're laying down some filler, I might as well go ahead and knock this area out right here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's super wavy. You could see it better when it's underneath the wrap. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind all this down. It looks like they already did some filler work, but let's get it shaved down, get some filler on there, and hopefully I can get that smoothed out to look perfect underneath our paint job. I'm actually gonna go ahead and try to sand it out first. So yeah, let's just grab some sandpaper on a sanding block and see what happens. Well, thankfully I gave that a shot because we were able to get that completely sanded out, flattened out perfectly without any sort of filler. You can see where all the high spots were. That was a pretty high spot, that was a little one, and then those guys over there. That just saved us a lot of time. Let's go ahead and get sanding out on our roof. Let's see if this stuff is hardened all the way yet. That's still a little bit soft, but I think the glaze is definitely ready to be sanded down. We are pretty much all finished up with bodywork on the roof and honestly, pretty much the whole entire car. Anything that we hit with 180 or even 80 grit. So this right here was 80 and then 180. We're gonna block everything out with 220 and then I'm gonna slap on the 320 with the interface pad and we're gonna just sand down the entire roof. The whole car is currently sanded with 220. We're gonna have to bring the whole entire car to 320, but we can do that later on. So let's go ahead and knock out that roof with the block, 220, DA, 320, and we should be good on the roof, other than primer. Ooh. Well guys, we are pretty much done with bodywork on the STI. That roof took so freaking long. There's a lot of times where we sanded too far, had to put more filler on. But at the end of the day, this is all just a learning process for me, and so far it's been actually kind of fun. Here's how the roof currently looks. Of course, we do still have to lay down some filler primer in all the areas that have body filler on them, but you can see how much or how many different spots took filler. Quite a bit. I hope it turns out good. I hope it looks good as soon as we lay down paint, but I guess we are not really gonna know until we actually do lay down paint, and hopefully it's not wavy. I think it'll be all right. Gonna wrap it up right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow.